yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boom. Country 101.3 KFGI. Monday. The beginning of is this week 5 of the quarantine? I think it is, right? The beginning of week 5 of the stay-at-home, stay safe, think about everybody, we're in this together. Week 5. And this morning, I cannot stop yawning. I don't know what my problem is. I got a good night's sleep. I went to bed pretty early, all things considered. Even took a nap yesterday. I'm yawning so hard, my eyes are watering this morning. What is going on? What? Now, I'd always heard that yawning is a sign of a lack of oxygen. Like you're not tired, you just need to breathe deeper. Something is sucking the oxygen right out of this room then, because I literally, for the last hour and a half since I've been in the building, all by myself, have been just incapable of going 60 seconds without yawning. And I have to wipe my eyes, which means I have to touch my face. If I get the Rona from yawning, I'm going to be upset. I've been so good about socially distancing and wearing face coverings and not making any unnecessary trips and staying at home and following the rules. And if I get the Rona because I can't stop yawning and can't stop touching my face, I'm going to be upset. That could possibly ruin my day. Just saying. Lots to do today. A couple chances for you to win. Lots of fun to be had. Lots of good stuff to share. And your happiness, too. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. But right now, let's get this day started by looking back to Friday to see how we did with the Bobcat.
Yeah, man, that's the good stuff.
Can always use some extra good stuff, especially to start Monday. Let's share this. Saturday Night Live comedian and co-host of Weekend Update, Michael Chang, announced the devastating news that his grandmother has died of the COVID-19 virus. He announced that on an Instagram post. He went on to say he was obviously very hurt and angry that she had to go through all the pain alone, but he was also happy that she's not in pain anymore. And then he did something that I think I'd like to believe I would be that person. He channeled his grief in a positive way. In another post, he says, "It's crazy to me that residents of public housing are still expected to pay their rent when so many New Yorkers can't even work. Obviously, I can't afford much help by myself, but in the spirit and memory of my late grandmother, I'm paying 1 month's rent for all 160 apartments in the NYCHA building she lived in. I know that's just a drop in the bucket, so I really hope the city has a better plan for debt forgiveness for all the people in public housing at the very least." Man, that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
Toward the end of last week, one of the big stories here in Wichita was local chef Natasha from the kitchen won Guys Grocery Games. And I had her on the phone and we were talking, and Natasha, you won 20 grand at the end, right?
Yeah, I've never run so fast in my life.
Well, you crushed it. You absolutely crushed it. And you said that's going to go to your son's college fund?
Yes.
How old is your son?
My son is now 14 going on 15.
Okay.
So we just have high school left and then we're off to college.
Okay, very exciting. As a kid, if your parents made you sit at the table till you finished everything on your plate, what food would have kept you at the table?
I can remember one instance where I did have to sit at the table, and it was tomato soup. I'm not a huge fan of tomato soup. And I remember having to eat it when it was like lukewarm cold almost.
Yeah.
So I do remember that time. But otherwise, I'm a pretty open eater.
Pretty adventurous.
I don't like lima beans.
Girl, same. Yep, same. That is, you keep those things away from me. What is your favorite leftover?
Oh, lasagna.
Oh, like a day or two after you make it, all those flavors have a chance to kind of. Yes. So on Triple G, Guys Grocery Games, it was clearance wars.
Yes.
Is it as stressful as it looks on television?
Yes.
100%.
I'm a planner by nature, or at least I thought I was a planner by nature. And you really cannot prepare for this at all. You don't know the theme until he announces it right in the beginning of the show. And then even in between rounds, when you're getting a little break, you can't plan for the next one because you already have to deal with the one you're in.
Right. So
you really can't plan because you don't know if the next round's going to be breakfast, if it's going to be, even and odd aisles, only, food that's blue. You have no idea what he's going to throw at you. He's so creative that way.
Yeah.
So you can't plan at all. So you really had to think as you're running because you only have 30 minutes from the time he says go to shop and prepare and put it down. And it really is real time. It's not like there's pauses that you get to keep cooking and they, edit that out. There's none of that going on. So it was very nerve-wracking, but it was super fun.
Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of fun. Now, you had 3 different contests within the clearance wars. Game 1 was high-end dinner. Game 2 was cheesy comfort food and watch your weight.
With a 5-pound limit.
Yep. And then Game 3 was seafood feast. Which one was the most difficult for you?
The one I was the most afraid of, I guess, to say, was round 2, which was the cheesy comfort food.
Okay.
Because cheese is heavy, and then we had a 5-pound limit.
Yep.
And I needed to get those marshmallows out of the way.
Yeah.
The marshmallows and the shrimp ramen were, like, in my bag of clearance items.
Right.
Those were the 2 I was most afraid of, or most intimidated because I couldn't figure out how I was going to use them.
Yeah, well, genius use of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. That 211 line, and you see a lot of it now. If you drive down Kellogg on the electronic signs, it tells you, to learn more about the coronavirus and testing sites and things like that. Dial 211. It's a great resource if you have not used it and you have questions. I had a chance to talk with one of the operators dedicated solely to answering questions regarding COVID-19, and her name was Rachel. And Rachel, give me an example of some of the questions people are asking.
Yeah, so a lot of people are concerned if some of the symptoms that they're feeling could be indicative of COVID-19. So we're answering a lot of questions about that. There's a lot of questions popping up about the stay-at-home order for Sedgwick County, wondering about what exceptions could be or whether or not the behavior that they're exhibiting is safe behavior. We are actually getting a fair amount of questions, too, about how I can prevent myself from contracting COVID-19 and how I can keep my family safe.
These are really, 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 really important questions. Now, if you're going to put someone through the screening process, can you give us a couple of examples of some of the questions you would ask them just to eliminate the possibilities?
Yeah, so the first question we ask is if they know if they've come in contact with someone who's positive for COVID-19. If they are, there's some other follow-up questions we ask, and we're mostly looking at symptoms. So we're looking at, do they have a fever of over 100? Do they have a cough? And has that cough created any difficulty in breathing? And whether or not they've seen their healthcare provider and been tested for flu or strep.
Do they have to, after they've done and talked to you, do they then still have to go see their primary care physician, their healthcare provider, before they can go any further?
It kind of depends on their situation. So if they are a Sedgwick County resident, we would then refer them to Sedgwick County Health, who has a continual referral process and screening process. If they are not a Sedgwick County resident, then they would be following through with their primary care provider.
Country 101.3 KFD.
Special on Saturday was so special. So many amazing performances from wherever they were on the planet, from every different genre you could possibly imagine. And I kept on seeing comment after comment on Facebook about how good it was. And, you weren't wrong. Now, if you missed it, There are some highlights, some of my favorite highlights. You can see more of the performances over on YouTube. Just spend some time today maybe doing that and browsing through some of your favorites. But a couple of my favorites. First, we're going to step outside the format for a second. Lizzo. Lizzo sang one of my favorite songs, and it was one of my favorite songs long before it became like everyone's song to sing on American Idol. She sang Sam Cooke's Change Is Gonna Come.
There were times when I felt we couldn't last for long, but now I know we're able to carry on.
Get it.
It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
Oh.
Yes, it will.
Just gives me goosebumps. That's so good. Lady Antebellum had a really great message that they wanted to share before their performances of What I'm Leaving For.
It's Lady Antebellum here, and we just want to take a moment to say thank you and our deepest gratitude to all of the essential workers right now. Our ICU doctors, our nurses, our first responders, our grocery clerks who are making sure that we get the necessities and the sustenance that we need to get through this. Your tireless and selfless work right now means so much.
But I think one of the trippiest and coolest performances was Keith Urban covering Steve Winwood's Higher Love, and he played with Keith Urban and Keith Urban.
Bring me a higher love, 'cause I could rise above without the higher love.
To all of the healthcare workers, everybody on the front lines and behind the scenes, on behalf of Nick and our girls, myself, all of us here, we say thank you. Thank you.
It was so cool because he cloned himself twice, and then Nicole comes in and leans in on one of the shoulders of the clones. And if you're going to watch one video from the One World special, that's one to watch. It is tool time. Time to highlight a tool that belongs in our toolbox for some really not so great behavior. You're embarrassing yourself, and you're a tool. And today we go down under to Australia, where the panic buying of toilet paper first began. Remember those days? It seems like forever ago. We go to one grocery store in Australia where John Paul Drake, who is the director of the supermarket, or manager, had his first customer of the day. And that first customer wanted to get a refund on 150 packets of 32-pack toilet paper and 150 units of 1-liter hand sanitizer that this customer panic purchased at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. And the reason this customer wanted to return the 150 packets of 32-pack toilet paper, hang on just a second. I'm going to get my calculator out because math is not my strong suit. 150 times 32... 4,800 rolls of toilet paper. Plus the hand sanitizer. I want to return both of those because I couldn't sell it on my eBay account and turn a profit, so I'm going to go ahead and return it. Good for the manager because the manager said, nope, you're not. You can take your toilet paper and your hand sanitizer and get to stepping. You won't be returning that here. That store manager deserves some sort of a raise and a good citizenship medal and a key to the city. And the person trying to return 4,800 rolls of toilet paper and 150 units of 1-liter hand sanitizer, well, they deserve to be a tool in our toolbox.
How's that?
It was good, although I felt like the cranky old man in the neighborhood because there was some dude in a beat-up old Honda who was Tokyo drifting. And I'm like, yo, Paul Walker, settle down. Oh my God, this is really good.
It always is.
This is like good hangover food.
Mm-hmm. We say that every time we eat it.
Every time.
However, whenever we're going to be hungover the next day, we never think to make it.
When was the last time we were hungover?
I don't know.
Seriously.
The holiday open house?
Nah. We went to church the next day.
That doesn't mean anything. I was really rough after all those Jell-O shots. I was trying to keep up with Jen, for God's sakes.
That's a task unto itself.
I used to go to church hungover all the time. No, that's not true.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. But when I was 14, my best friend Julie and I,
Okay.
we kind of had a little soiree in the basement at Julie's house. And we were watching Saturday Night Live, in the days when it used to be good. Anyway, and we decided to raid her mom and dad's liquor cabinet. And being 14 and stupid, we thought that, as long as we refilled the bottles with enough liquid, that they'd never know there was something gone.
Never.
Yes, well.
Hold up. What did you refill the bottles with?
Water.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I wasn't even smart enough to put, brown soda in with the brown liquor.
Oh.
But I was the bartender.
Okay.
And I would put a little bit of this, and, well, you know me, I would mix drinks by color.
Yep.
So we would have the green drink, and then we'd have the brown drink, and then we'd have a red drink. So we didn't think anybody knew. We didn't think we were going to get caught or anything.
Right.
And the next morning, everybody left. Julie and I were still home, and we were hung over, and Julie's mom made us get up and get dressed in our church clothes and go to church, and made us, and they never sat in the first pew, but made us sit in the first pew. Oh, it was horrible, honey. Then we got home from church, and all we wanted to do was take a nap.
Uh-huh.
And we walked into the house, and my mom was there waiting for us. So we knew we were in deep doo.
How'd that go?
Not good. We were grounded for quite some time.
Country 101.3 KFDI.
Now it's time to spread that happiness around, and I knew I could count on you, my happiness warriors, my positive people, to spread some happiness around at 436-1013. And it starts with three simple questions. Who are you? Where are you? And why are you happy?
Hi, good morning. This is Chris from Douglas, Kansas, and I'm happy just to hear your broadcast, and I love the song that you're playing right now.
This is a great song. Be a Light is the song we needed at just the right time.
Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, my name is Ryan, and I'm from Florida, and I'm happy because my sister got a certificate from Florida Atlantic University, which is my alma mater, for tourism and hospitality management. She completed a course, and I'm so proud of her, and that's why I'm happy, and I hope you feel the same way, too.
I don't even know your sister, and I'm proud of her, Ryan.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you're happy as well.
Hi, KFDI. Who are you, where are you, and why are you happy?
I am Nick. I am in Wichita, and because me and my wife had a baby last week, a week ago today.
You guys had your baby a week ago today?
Yes.
Baby's name?
It is Blaze Killian.
How's Blaze sleeping?
He is sleeping good.
Awesome. This your first?
Yes.
Oh, man. What great news to come amid all this stuff we're dealing with.
Yes, thank you.
So happy for both of you. Thanks for sharing.
My name's Mike. I'm from South Wichita. Not happy because this weekend my wife got me an English Bulldog.
Sweet. What did you name the Bulldog?
Her name's Lyric.
Cool. What a great name. Have you always wanted an English Bulldog?
I have always wanted an English Bulldog since I was a little guy.
Now, I know this feeling because I had always wanted a Rhodesian Ridgeback. And when my wife and I finally got one, it's such a great feeling. And you spoiled it. You're going to spoil that dog rotten, you realize.
Oh, I do. The whole family will, probably.
I love it. Congratulations on the new addition to your family.
Well, thank you very much, JJ.
Hi, KFDI. Who are you, where are you, and why are you happy?
Hi, this is Kendall. I am in the Gravers A's parking lot in Newton, and I'm happy because I have a job during this whole coronavirus thing, and no one in my family has gotten sick yet.
See, those are really some blessings to count for sure. What parking lot are you in again?
Graver Ace Hardware in Newton is where I work.
Okay, so you work at the Ace Hardware up in Newton.
I do, yes.
What's hot in the Ace Hardware up in Newton these days? What are people buying and buying a lot of?
A lot of paint and a lot of yard work stuff.
Yep. See, this is if you are socially distanced and you're staying at home and behaving yourself, this is a perfect time to get that garden ready, paint that room you always wanted to paint. Hey, listen.
It really is, yes.
Kendall, I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you and your family are safe, and I'm glad you're still working. Take care of yourself and stay well, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Uh-huh. You want to win from Freddy's? Going to play Lunch Line. I play the first part of the Lunch Line. You sing completely incorrectly the second part of the Lunch Line. You do that, you're a winner. Easy as that. Here comes the first part. Listen close.
I want you here in my arms. We'll hide away in the dark.
Goes by pretty quick, but you know that song, right?
I want you here in my arms. We'll hide away in the dark.
Gonna start with caller 10. And just as easy as that, here comes the first part. Listen closely.
I want you here in my arms. We'll hide away in the dark.
Go for it, Hannah.
Slip your hand in my back pocket and let your long hair fall. I want you all to myself.
Let's give it a listen.
Slip your hand in my back pocket. Go and let your long hair fall. I want you all to myself.
There it is. Yes. Way to go, Hannah from Derby. You got your gift card to Freddy's.
Thank you.
Country 101.3 KFTI.
I don't have COVID-19, but I think I gained the COVID-19. You know, you've heard of the freshman 15. The COVID-19 is basically all the weight you're gaining from all the eating you're doing while you're staying at home quarantined, and I am guilty. So guilty of like all the carbs in my house. I got into baking bread, so I'm eating all my fresh baked bread. Then you got pastas, and you don't feel like cooking anything real super fancy, but the old school ramen. Yep, put that on there. Potato chips, ice cream. You get the idea. So if I were to fill in that blank of I am doing too much blank in quarantine, eating, and admittedly, and I've dialed this back a little bit, but drinking is up there too. Not to excess, but like one a day, and I never used to drink like one a day, but a beer or, a couple fingers of whiskey or something like that. And then, of course, Friday rolls around and you do your Zoom happy hours with all your friends and your peeps, and you're like, oh, hey, I got to have a drink in my hand. And then when you do your Zoom happy hours in our house, Michelle will make a charcuterie board, or, me, I'm civilized. I say a meat tray. Hey, put together a meat tray there, Michelle. So all the carbs in my house are going into my face. Some of you put watching TV. Some of you put sitting too much. Some of you put complaining too much. But I want to know, at 436-1013, how would you fill in that blank? I am doing too much blank. Eating and drinking would be my words to fill in the blank. I'm doing too much blank during quarantine. What is yours?
Sex.
Good for you. Good for you. You better eat your Wheaties. I hope you're drinking lots of sports drinks so you don't dehydrate. You got to replenish those electrolytes, son.
Right?
I'm so proud of you. You fly that flag high, you freak. Hi, KFDI. I'm doing too much blank during quarantine.
I am doing too much stacking lunches and breakfasts for kids.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
That's good. Now, are you doing it just for your kids, or are you doing this for a school system?
I'm doing it for a school system.
Oh, good for you. Well, thank you for doing that and helping out the kids who need a good breakfast or lunch.
How fast can you run? Will you escape? It's Beat the Bobcat on 101.3 KFDI.
Here we go. Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, you are from the ICT.
That's right.
You like to hunt, you like to fish, you like to watch football. Not really having any football to watch these days, but you can still hunt and fish, yes?
That's right.
All right. You're married, you got 2 kids, and you were working, but you are one of those many who have lost their jobs, hopefully temporarily and not long-term, to the coronavirus, yes?
Yes.
And you're doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good, excellent. Well, listen, I want you to survive this. If anybody needs a win, you do, Mark. I want you to get that gift card to Freddy's. It's real simple. I'm going to give you a topic. I am going to yell run, and then you will have 20 seconds to run as fast as you can and give me a list of 10 things in that category that make sense. You do that, you'll get that gift card to Freddy's. If you don't, you get mauled, and man, that's tough. That's just piling on at that point.
Okay.
All right, Mark. So listen closely. In 20 seconds, I want you to give me 10 area organizations you can volunteer for. Ready? Run!
Red Cross, United Way of the Plains, Salvation Army. Boy.
Oh, come on, Mark.
I'm telling you, I'm stumped.
You're drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Oh, my God. The humanity. It's terrible. I mean, there are so many organizations here in town that are looking for volunteers. You could have just named 10 churches. They're always looking for volunteers. ICT SOS. There's CASA. There's the Wichita Family Crisis Center. Man, oh man. Please bow your heads. Time for the eulogy. Mark from Wichita was mauled today. Too bad, since he lost his job to the Rona. But the Bobcat didn't care at all about that, as he bit through Mark's arm to the bone. To Mark. Next chance to beat the Bobcats, Tuesday morning, 8:50 on Country 101.3 KFDI.